Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning into another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. As always, I am Justin Allen, and I am here with Moses Wartooth. And we have got an interesting video to start out with today, man. When we found this on Instagram, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Dude, you gotta give this guy a medal, man.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like,
And probably a visit to the psych ward after this shit.
Yeah, it's probably one of the wildest police videos I've seen, man.
Yeah.
But we can go ahead and roll that footage, man, and then we'll talk about it, because it's pretty wild.
Car! Stop the f***ing car! Stop it! Stop the car! Put on the f***ing brakes! Put on the brakes! Stop the f***ing car! Stop the f***ing car, man!
Jesus Christ, man. And he's hauling ass with that cop on top of that car, dude.
I'm surprised he didn't shoot.
I would have.
I would have, yeah. Because at that point, you literally are.
That's an
in fear
attempt
for
on
your
your.
life.
That's like an attempt on your life.
Yeah. He's hanging on good.
Jeez, man.
Oh. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Yeah. So for the audio listeners out there, basically a cop pulled over a car, had him at gunpoint.
He's standing in front of the car.
And then the car starts trying to move, so the cop jumps on the hood and has a gun in the windshield.
And he's riding on the car, and the guy just starts speeding up.
Takes off, man, and then eventually the cop is able to ditch off. But, I mean, he probably got how fast do you think he got?
I don't know.
At least 45, 50?
Yeah.
Like, somewhere in there, man? Yeah, dude, that's Jesus Christ, dude. And that guy's probably doing that job for like $50,000 a year, you know?
I would have shot. Yeah, it says it's in Carroll, Iowa. So I'm pretty sure. I mean, that I've never heard of it. I'm sure they're not making six figures. Yeah,
it's like a local PD kind of thing, you know?
I would figure so.
Damn, dude. I don't know. That dude's probably getting a medal out of that one, you know?
Yeah, that dude's way. I mean.
You got some brass balls,
I'm just saying,
man.
if I have the gun out and that shit, and he starts pulling out, dude, I'm gonna shoot. Like, maybe not to kill, but I'm at least gonna start shooting into the windshield.
You're catching one in the shoulder.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so, I mean, I would have at least, like, fired off a few rounds, like, towards the passenger seat where there's nobody in there, because it was just one driver, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see
I don't see anyone else in the car.
So, yeah, I'd at least made it known, like, hey, like, if you move this another inch, like, because at that point, that car becomes a weapon.
For sure, yeah. He was trying to kill the, like, yeah,
basically,
the cop, his life was in danger.
I wish we could find out why that guy was running, though.
True.
You know, like, did he have something in the car? Or was he, like, did he have warrants or some shit like that? Maybe a combination of both? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you have to assume that the dude had some warrants and hope, like, probably shit in the car.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You always think that you're not, like, someone's not going to do that shit unless they have something that they really can't get caught with.
Yeah, man, for sure.
But then I've seen situations where they had nothing wrong with them, and the cops were like, "Why the fuck did you run, man?" And he was like, "I don't know. I got nervous."
Dude, I talked to a friend of mine that was a cop in Shreveport, and he said you'd actually be surprised how many people get away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said it's a lot of people. Like, a lot of times, like, they'll turn on their lights and people will haul ass and start banking out throughout the suburbs and stuff like that, and like they'll lose them on their trail or whatever.
Like, the cops have to slow down so they don't like hurt other people, basically.
So sometimes they just like, fuck it, they can do got away or whatever, you know. So, but yeah, dude, that's a scary situation. Talk about an adrenaline rush from hell, though, dude. Man, God.
If I was that cop, I'd be like, I want a copy of that body cam footage because that shit's badass.
That's a hell of a story to be telling later in life, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one time,
you know, whenever you walk into the station, they're like, "Hey, there's that guy."
And it's Iowa too, so there's a good chance that guy might have had an "I Back the Blues" sticker on his back of his car or some shit, which would make it even perfect, you know, even better, you know. Like, so, but yeah, man, I don't know. Cops deal with crazy shit, man, all the time.
Yeah,
dude.
there's no way I would be a cop.
That's why, like, I don't know. Anytime I have like interaction with them, it's always yes sir, no sir. Like, there's no
because
fuckery.
Again, if you do what you're supposed to do,
even if you're doing something wrong,
90% of the time. I mean, there are some cops that should not be cops, but the majority of them, if you just do what the fuck you're supposed to do,
like
you're not going to be. Yeah. I mean, we are white too, so we have that advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, if we weren't, then maybe, I don't know, maybe you got to run sometimes. I don't know.
Maybe, who knows? Make a run for it. Oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that, officer. You know? Jesus Christ. But yeah, man, I don't think I could ever be a cop, dude. I mean, they just deal with too much shit.
No. I mean, I know some cops, and they always tell me awesome stories, but at the end of the day, I'm like, man, that ain't for me.
So you're just stressed out all the time, man. Because it's still like you're still in a bureaucratic situation. You work for the government, whether it's state or city or even like federal or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're still dealing with that bullshit that's coming down. So it's kind of like being in the military again.
And plus,
then on top of it, you're dealing with like the worst of society.
Yeah,
constantly.
and cops are scrutinized more than the average citizen anyway. So if they do anything wrong, they're getting nailed to the wall.
Yeah.
So
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's like shit that happens and stuff that gets blown way out of proportion. Like, okay, this cop's overreacted. Like, there's tons of this shit that's happened.
Yeah.
But damn, dude, like imagine having a job where you literally it's gotten so bad that you have to wear a body cam the entire time, and at any point it's public record. Someone can literally just do like a FOIA request and get that footage. Like, so you're just scrutinized so much to.
If you're doing your job right, that shit, the body cam would be helping you.
It would just make me like. If I was a cop, I would obviously do my job right, but it would just make me nervous, like, in case something happened, could something be taken out of context, you know what I mean? Like, maybe there was a wrestle, maybe the cam got covered up or whatever, you couldn't see something, you know what I mean? Like, a wrong angle or whatever the hell it may be. I mean, who knows, man, but I don't know, man. I'm just saying it's a tough fucking job, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean...
I ain't about that life.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like, I understand they're a necessary part of society, but y'all do what y'all do over there, and I'll do what I do over here. And, neither shall the two meet.
Exactly.
But like, I've never really had like a bad interaction with a police officer. But I've always, like I said, man, it's always been like yes sir, no sir, like hands at 10 and 2 when you get pulled over. Like.
I mean, I've never had a positive interaction with a cop.
It's only ever cost me time and money when they got involved.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like whatever. Dude.
Was I guilty every time? Not every time. Most of the time, yeah.
You can never acknowledge whether or not I'm guilty. Most of my shit was just like speeding tickets and stuff, man. I was just like, fuck.
I will say every time I've gotten pulled over for speeding, my ass got a fucking ticket.
Yeah, that is true. So, I did have like a really good interaction the other day, though.
Really?
I didn't even tell you about this. So some friends and I went out to like a local little like dive bar or whatever. I think we were watching like one of the Mavericks games or some shit when they were in the semifinals, and so me and some friends it's like literally me. There's only two of us, so we're like out and we're hanging outside. It closes down and we're sitting there waiting, smoking cigarettes, whatever. Not me, but you get the point. But so we're hanging out. We just get caught up in like really good conversation or whatnot, and then everyone's gone. And it's like this is like little establishment is in like a strip mall, like outside strip mall, and literally all the lights are shut off. Bartenders are gone. Like all the staff is gone. There's like only 2 cars in the parking lot, right? And then the alarm goes off for the bar, and it's loud as fuck, and it's just like yeah. And my initial thought was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And then I was like, wait a second, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm gonna fucking just stay here. And so instantly, like fucking 2 or 3 cruisers like show up, man. And it's like, okay, cool. And the cop gets out, man, and he's a cool dude. He's kind of sarcastic, but he's just like, y'all have anything to do with this? And I was like, no. Like, if we did, you think we'd be standing right here right now, So the guy was cool. He kind of laughed about it, and he was like, have y'all seen anything? I was like, look, man, nobody's come out. Like, they closed up, like, 30 minutes ago. There's been no movement on the outside. I was like, if anything happened, it's probably on the ceiling, it's on the roof, or it's behind the back.
Yeah.
I was like, but we've been here the whole time. And, so he was cool, man. Like, he sent the other police, like, around the back and shit. It was totally fine. It was, like, a false alarm or whatever.
Okay.
Some shitty old alarm or whatever, I guess. I don't know. But, or maybe a mouse fucking scattered across the bar or some shit. I don't know. But, the place is so shitty, I was like, it has an alarm? I was like, that's what, like, threw me off. But
they care about being robbed?
Yeah. But, the guy, all he did was just like, can I see y'all's IDs? And then he asked for phone numbers. He was like, yeah. He's like, you're probably not going to get a call. He's like, but just in case something happens, like, you can be, like, a witness. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
You're like, I didn't see nothing.
Yeah, but it was, I was like, I didn't do anything wrong, but, like, my initial reaction was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, So, but
catch that beat down.
Yeah, they're cool, man. But I don't know. The cops around here are like pretty cool, but it's also like a small town too, so it's kind of like everyone kind of knows everyone. Even if you don't know that police officer, you know someone who knows them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's a little more like connected to the community, I guess, versus, a major city like Houston or something like that, or like Chicago or New York City.
Plus, big city cops, they just got to be pissed off all the time, dude.
Man.
You're just dealing with bullshit.
Mm-hmm. And so much of it is like unnecessary bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, then you also get the graphic side of things, like accidents and stuff like that they have to see, and it's like, God damn, dude, like, shit. The other day, man, I was driving down the road and I saw a motorcycle wreck.
Like actively?
Literally yesterday. Well, I caught it like maybe a minute after it happened.
Oh, okay.
I pulled up, like, they, were rerouting traffic and stuff, and it didn't look like the dude hit anyone. It looked like someone might have cut him off, but motorcycle slid. I mean, he was like all laid out. They had paramedics everywhere and stuff. I mean, he was alive. He was like sitting up, but like his legs were all fucked up and shit. Oh yeah, and bandaged and stuff. And I was like, dude, there's no helmet in sight that I saw, and I was like, but motorcycles, I fucking hate motorcycles though, man. Those things are death traps, dude. So many people try to get me to ride with them. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, because you get hit by anything on that, it's fucking over, man. But I don't know. But cops are always doing weird shit, man. There's always like surprise stuff or whatever. Like, we can talk about like the theft shit or whatever that we had or whatnot. That's a good video that we have next or whatever. So
that's something that these people are really thinking outside the box. Like, they're
imagine being a cop and getting that phone call. They did what?
You're like, are you serious?
Don't worry, folks. This is all about to make sense here in about 5 seconds when we play this video. But it's creative. I would have never thought about doing that, you know.
No.
So, but I don't know, man. Let's play it.
Guns we know about them. Now, fire hydrants.
Thieves are now trying to get their hands on fire hydrants in LA County. It's a crime that could put communities at risk.
Of course it's LA.
Eyewitness News reporter Eric Cassendes has details.
It's the sound of thieves cutting off bolts from a crucial piece of infrastructure that helps keep neighborhoods safe. Fire hydrant thefts are on the rise in LA County. The Sheriff's Department says this year already about 100 hydrants have been stolen. Crystal Cousins lives between 2 hydrants in Florence Firestone. She says both of them were stolen on Thursday.
God.
Residents are upset.
Why are you taking them? And then we're coming to find out that they're only getting about $100 off of them. So, like, okay, you're making quick money, but you're putting so many people in danger. So many people in danger.
It's sad because they don't realize the damage that they're doing. You know.
Yeah, for $100.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Golden State Water Company owns these fire hydrants. The company says since 2023 to last month, about 300 of them have been stolen in the south side of LA County, from Huntington Park to Gardena. Cousins says only one fire hydrant was replaced on Monday. She says she's waiting on the other one to be replaced.
Having no fire hydrant on the street is a whole lawsuit right there. It's flames. And people do fireworks all night over here, so just one ember would have just took us all out.
It could be that thieves are sealing them for scrap metal.
Oh, so they cut them off and then back over them and then load them up, I guess.
On why they're being stolen. The Golden State Water Company says the direct financial impact of these thefts amounts to over $1.2 million.
Yeah.
Crews have replaced some of the stolen hydrants and added this lock to the base. The LA County Fire Department says this poses a threat to public safety.
Fire hydrants, man. Fire hydrants. Is that where we're at now in society? Well, yeah. California. That's California, you know.
Yeah,
so.
Chalk that up to how can we even be surprised at this point anymore?
Yeah, dude, holy shit, man.
Because I was wondering how much they actually cost. So if they took 300 and that was 1.2 million. Was that
like the damage, the cost of this is how I interpret it. The cost to replace it would be 1.2 million worth of like material and like time
work
and
and man hours and all that other shit.
But the actual melt value of them is $100 a pop.
No, I get that, but I mean, like, obviously if you take it to the fucking scrap yard, you get $100, but like how much does the actual
fire hydrant cost itself? I don't know. I don't know. It's probably definitely going to be more than $100. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a few thousand.
I'm sure it is because it fucking comes from like it's an organization like
it's like regulated and shit.
Yeah,
like, there's standards for it, so. Who knows? But, you know, all right, so this is how fucked up my mind is when that lady was talking about, like, you know, the community being in danger, like there could be a fire or whatever. Like,
she said lawsuit.
She said lawsuit. And as soon as she said lawsuit, I was like, dude, I'd be begging for my shit to burn down.
I mean, like,
no one get hurt, but let that shit fucking burn,
like,
dude.
Have your kid play with some matches behind the house or some shit.
Hey, kids, you want to start a fire?
What the fuck?
Playing that burning down the house song.
Yeah.
Burning down the house.
The roof.
We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. I mean, because imagine if your fucking house burnt up, dude. Like, yeah, it's going to suck. You're going to lose a lot of shit. All right, cool. But as long as you and your family are safe, that lawsuit, dude, that could be millions of dollars.
It could.
But it's going to take forever to get.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. I would be interested. I would be curious to see how that played out.
Yeah. Yeah, so who knows? I don't know. We'll see. 4th of July's right around the corner, so, you know.
I mean, yeah, there'll probably be 500 stolen by that time.
Yeah. And you know how, like, all the news companies, they'll fly helicopters on 4th of July because it's, like, illegal. I think, is it LA County? Like, it's illegal to shoot fireworks?
I'm sure it is.
I think it is.
Fireworks, illegal, AKs, good to go.
Yeah. So they'll fly helicopters, and they'll, like, every year they'll film, like, and everyone's just shooting off fireworks. And it's, I mean, it looks pretty. Like, it's like, holy shit, this is kind of a cool scene.
Yeah.
But, it, like, every year it never fails. Like, CNN will be, like, illegal fireworks in Los Angeles County or some shit like that, you know?
You're like, man, this is fucking America. This is our right.
Well, it's just because it's so fucking hot in July, you know? Like,
oh, well,
I mean,
man.
You know, and they got all those fires out there and whatnot, but...
Fuck them.
Whatever.
That's freedom.
Let freedom reign. Man, but I don't know. You know, like in our town, we're the part of town that I live in, none of the fire hydrants work.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
They're just static displays.
They literally are. Yeah, they're like, there's no water in them whatsoever.
They're just actually just not connected to anything.
Yeah, I mean they're there, but they're just not. There's not, like, if the fire department needed water from them, like, there's no water coming out. So, because my buddy works for the water department, and he was like, yeah, it was like some civil engineering thing. Like, it was like a whole fucking thing. They're trying to, like, they're working on it in quotations, but it's going to be, like, years before they get it.
So what you're saying is you're in the same exact position as they are.
Yeah.
If a fire was to potentially happen.
I get to look at it. but, you know, damn, maybe my shit should burn down.
Dude, that's even worse because you're like, you feel safe. And then you're like, I got a fire. Where's the fucking fire department?
Okay.
They get there, hook up. Or
Yeah.
I'm sure they know that this shit doesn't work either. So what if, I guess they're just like, sorry, bud.
Yeah.
Can't really do anything for you.
And we don't even have, like, in that little area, we don't even have, like, a legitimate fire department. It's all volunteer firefighters. Because, like, technically we live in the same city, but I live in, like, I don't know, would you call where I live, like, an actual city? They're trying to be their own little small city, but they're not, like, quite.
I wouldn't. And then also, I mean, neither one of us live in a fucking city.
Yeah, we're talking about a town with, like, 50,000 people max, you know, and that includes, like, all the rural areas around it and shit.
Yeah.
So.
But even then, like, neither one of us live in the town.
Yeah, we live on the outskirts of that. Fuck living in town there. Dude, that place, oh my god. All the shootings and stuff that have been going up, even like a small town.
Dude, I know. I looked it up and like we live in a small town, but like based on how many shootings we get, it's like it's like high up there on dangerous.
It's one of the worst cities to be in Texas. I saw like I think
which is insane.
I think the Texas Tribune did like an article about it like a year or two ago, and it was like our small ass town was like in the top 10 of like worst places to live in Texas. And this just reminded me. I remember my buddy posted a meme that he made one time. It was like, oh, when you go jogging in our town or whatever, he like named our town, and then it was like a jogger like jogging on the road, and then the next picture was like him like pulling up his shoe, and inside of like the crevices of like the sole or whatever was just nothing but bullet casings. Like we're just like, what the fuck? But we have like I think mostly our big problem is like a lot of it is like property theft.
Yeah.
Like, people steal shit here all the fucking time, and I'm like, God.
Property theft and, I'm going to say this very loosely, gang violence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like just kids.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, it really is like under, like 21 and under.
Yeah, we did have like a gang that was coming up, and they were doing a bunch of shit, and I mean they were like thugs, man. But it was like everyone was literally under the age of 21, and they were talking about it like it was public
like
enemy
MS-13 type shit.
Yeah, and it's just like literally just like kids.
Just catch them and beat the shit out of them.
I mean they caught all those guys.
Yeah,
it didn't take long or whatever. So I did like their name though. Their name was kind of cool.
I don't remember what it was.
I'll tell you that. Because if we say it, then people are going to find out exactly where we live, and it's gonna, next thing you know, we're getting crazy showing up at our house.
What it was called.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
I was like, oh, that's clever when I saw it. Because I still buy the newspaper, so like I was reading it, I was like, what the fuck? Oh, cool. But yeah, man. So I don't know. Fire hydrants, folks. I guess if you're hard up for cash, I mean, I know inflation's got us all fucked up.
$100.
You need $100. Go steal a fire hydrant. Come to my fucking town. Take them. You ain't got to worry about shit.
True, they don't even work anyway. Fuck.
I should go jack them and be like, how about when they actually work, I'll put them back.
Yeah. Hold them for ransom.
Oh, dude, that reminds me of a super funny story. I know we talk about the military a lot, but this is hilarious. Like holding something for ransom. Did I ever tell you about holding there's like plastic pink flamingos people put in their yards?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the guys who held those for ransom on base?
No.
Okay. This is just a quick sidebar. It has nothing to do with the topics we've been on, but like,
Come on, it wouldn't be our show if we didn't have multiple times like this.
This is just a funny story, man. So anyway, I was stationed at Alson Air Force Base in Alaska, man, right outside of Fairbanks. So basically think center of Alaska, closer to Canada than it is actual coast. And cold as fuck, okay? So anyway, like any military installation, the base commander or the post commander, depending on what branch you're on in, they have their house, right? And it's always like it's a damn near a mansion every time. And it's super nice, right? It's really upkept, like it's just really nice. So our base commander every year would put like because like in Alaska, like the spring and summertime is really nice there because it's just daylight all the time. So like it's just really cool. But she would have like a really nice yard, like garden and stuff. So she put pink flamingos in her yard. Like, it was like something, like some charity thing or something like that. Okay, well, a couple of dipshits from my dorms, barracks, where I was living, the maintenance guys, which are known as being like the redheaded stepchildren of like the military, like they're always up to no good, decided they were going to steal them. So they get fucking wasted one night. They sneak in this guy's yard, steal his wife's like pink flamingos, right? And then they get back and they're like, okay, what the fuck are we gonna do with these flamingos? You know? And so an email goes out and it becomes this base-wide thing, and they're like, okay, like who did this needs to come forward right now. Like this is theft. It becomes like a serious thing. Like the police are getting involved and like all this other shit, and it's like, oh fuck. And no one's copping to it. So then these fuckers doubled down, dude. All of them got caught, by the way. But, like, they doubled down. So we had, like, I don't know, it was like a group, not a group chat, but it was like a group page or whatever for the base, like on Facebook or whatever, right? So people could post things like, you know, when they're moving, like, oh, I got something for sale, or I just got here, does anyone have anything I can buy?
Yeah.
What's the local community like? What's the best restaurant? Whatever. Very common shit, right? And so anyway, they thought it was funny, so they basically posted a picture of this pink flamingo with a fucking bandana over its eyes, okay? And they had a fucking gun to its head. And then another dude was holding a copy of the New York Times to show
today's date or whatever.
Like it was like literally like a kidnapping ransom. And then they literally just put out a ransom for it. They were like $1,000 or whatever, and you get it back. And then like that fucking blew up bad. That became a bad thing. Yeah, because then they were like, are they threatening violence against the commander and shit? Like, they were trying to just
blowing shit out of fucking proportion.
But anyway, they got the federal investigators in it. They tracked kid's IP address. They figured out.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like,
they got him.
Because you can post anonymously on that shit.
Over a fucking $2 pink flamingo, dude. And they all got kicked out of the military over that shit. Yeah, dude, just ruined their careers.
Imagine the story. Like, imagine having to tell your family you got fucking kicked out of the military for taking a goddamn pink flamingo out of somebody's yard.
And that is 100% true story. Because I didn't know who did it. Like, we were all like skeptical of each other. I was like, come on, man, did you do this shit? I'm like, no, I don't fucking do it. Like, we're all asking around the office, you know, like, fuck, dude, this is getting serious. People are getting pissed. You know? But they brought in like the federal investigators, which was essentially is like the FBI for the military, and OSI guys, and they pinged the IP address. They got all that shit, all that metadata off the photograph and stuff. They figured out the exact location of where that photo was taken. Like, it was like, yeah, dude, it was bad. You know, that was back before Snowden came out, so we didn't really think people could do that. I didn't do it, but like, you know, like, but it was clever. It was funny.
That's hilarious.
We were rolling laughing for forever about it, man. It was like a running joke, man. Because that base gets super fucking boring, man. So it's like, because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. So
leave it up to like,
it's maintenance,
man, guys. Not even that, man. Like, if my shit had got stolen, I'd have thought that, like, I would have been pissed, but if I saw the picture, I would have laughed my ass off.
Yeah, I'd have been like, just let it go, dude.
I'd have been like whatever. that part's funny as fuck.
You know? But, you know, a lot of people don't have a sense of humor anymore, so, you know.
That's fucking true.
But that was also, like, 12 years ago. So, yeah.
They still didn't have fucking sense of humor.
Somewhere in the mid-2000s, people got fucking stick shoved up their ass. Oh, man. But, I don't know, man. But... yeah, so I don't know. Thieves always be thieving. They always be stealing shit. But fire hydrants, I didn't see that coming, man.
No.
I didn't see that coming at all, man. I don't know. Dude, do you want to talk about Austin or you want to jump straight to Alex Jones?
We can touch on it. You got a funny story on the fire hydrant shit? Anyways?
Yeah. Well, all right. So we went down to Austin, and we saw a bunch of comedy shows, and stand up everywhere and stuff like that, man. And like I'm doing stand up again and stuff, so it was a good time, man.
Yeah, it was great.
It was a great time.
We saw 15 like professional comics.
Yeah,
and
man.
A lot of amateur people starting out type shit too.
I mean, we saw
Ron White,
Duncan Trussell. We saw David Jolly. We saw a lot of guys from Kill Tony. We saw Tony Hinchcliffe. Brian Holtzman. I mean, it's just a lot of people. We could go on forever, man. But it was dope, man. That comedy mothership is that's primo. That's a smooth operation they got going there.
Yeah, they got that shit locked down.
And Duncan Trussell's fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh, yeah, he was good.
He's good for whatever you see, in podcasts and, shorts and stuff. But, I mean, if you go and see him live, man, because he went for 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, it was so good. But, so about midnight, the comedy kind of stops or whatever. And, we're hanging out. And, we're hanging out with some of the guys, that were kind of in that comic scene and stuff there. And, a lot of them are on, shows like Kill Tony. And then they have major podcasts. One guy we met was really cool was Lemaire Lee from Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. He helps produce it or whatever, but he's Shane Gillis's roommate, so that was kind of dope, man. I like that.
Yeah, he was a cool ass dude too.
Yeah. Seeing Heath Corbez down there, which is the really small skinny guy. The recent from Kill Tony, the recent arena show they just did. He's the kid in the bear suit, if you guys are wondering. Celia Contreras, she's been big on Kill Tony before several times and stuff like that, and she's toured with Tony Hinchcliffe. So, but that David Jolly dude was really cool, man. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a freaking picture with him because he was busy.
He was busy, and we weren't gonna be dickheads and fucking ruin his game.
But it's a cool.
He had better shit going on at the time, so we had to respect that.
But he was nice. I mean, I met him, talked to him and stuff, and then man, he was a really cool dude. He's super funny. I like him a lot. Man.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite ones. He was fucking good.
Derek, what is it? Derek Poston.
Yeah.
The guy who came on before Hinchcliffe. He was really good, man. Really good. And I've been watching his podcast, The Solid Show, and it's pretty funny, man. But all those dudes are great, man. But so after about midnight, kind of the comedy stops. But all the clubs and bars and everything are open till 2 in the morning. So of course there's some adult beverages to be had, right? And I'm drunk as hell, and I come walking around a corner, and I hit a fire hydrant with my left leg just above my knee, that big brass nut straight up into my leg, dude. It's probably 6 inches in diameter, a green purple bruise
just
on my
knocked
leg.
The dog shit out of it.
Oh god, dude!
Why hasn't someone stole this motherfucker?
But yeah, I don't know. Comedy's good, man. I think we're gonna start going down there. What we say we shoot for once a month?
Yeah,
once
right now I'm trying to shoot for once a month.
Yeah, do some stand up down there and stuff like that, man. So I don't know. When that stuff gets closer, we'll actually let you guys know, and you can come check it out if you're down there. But it's a good time. And then hell, we didn't even talk about the small show in Mount Enterprise, Texas.
Oh yeah,
too.
Sure.
Yeah, that went good, man. I wasn't even supposed to do it.
Yeah.
There was no open mics, but we performed. I performed stand up with a couple of 3 comedians from the East Texas, Oklahoma region and stuff like that, and they were all really good, man. It was a small show, but it was a good time, man. I liked it. No one gave a fuck at that shit.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. Everybody said whatever they wanted to.
Yeah. And so the guy who runs it was good. He was all right, man. He's I'll let you do 5 minutes. He was but this was supposed to just be the features and the headliner. I was all right, cool, I got it. But he was we'll hook you up, man. You've done shows with us before. I was all right, cool, I got you. Tried out some new material. It's all right. But yeah, it was a good time, man. People just did not give a fuck. They were just smoking weed and shit, outside.
Yeah.
They were
as soon just literally, the door was here and people were just smoking right fucking
just
there.
standing right outside the venue. They just did not give a shit because it was in the middle of nowhere.
Literally,
it's a cool venue.
It is a badass venue
in the middle of nowhere, in the country, man. And and it was a small crowd. How many people would you say were there? What, 25?
Probably 20,
25. And dude. The only staff was one bartender, and she did not give a fuck. so comedians would literally get off stage and then go hang outside their friends, and they're just right outside the door just blowing cones and stuff. Now I'm sure it's the legal stuff you can just buy at the smoke shops, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It was a good time, man. So I don't know. Hopefully we got another show coming up soon. We'll announce that when the time comes. But Austin's where it's at, man. Austin's dope, dude. And we met a lot of people. We made a lot of connections. You know, they were actually asking about like our podcast and stuff. They were like, "What's the name? Like, what do you guys do?" I'm like, you know, I mean, you check it out. You might like it, man. You know.
Yeah. So eventually the plan is we're gonna get them on.
Yeah, yeah. So we're working on some stuff now, man, because there's studios you can rent out down there. We got some other stuff that we're considering with having a more frequent presence in that city, because that city, that's where it's at, man.
Yeah.
You know, and but
like that Austin, Texas is the fucking new comedy scene.
Yeah.
Like that is what it is.
And we're hoping we'll get a lot of guys from like the Kill Tony show and stuff like that on there. And I know it sounds like, you know, some bullshit, but trust me, it's not. Like, this is like all legit. Even though there was moments where I was like, is this happening right now? You know, like, but I don't know. But the one thing I did like, so we hung out at the Creek in the Cave, which is like a good hangout spot for a lot of amateur and upcoming comedians and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
hell, even we was there at like, I mean, there was people on stage practicing their shit at fucking 1:30 a.m.
Yeah, they were running some late shit, letting them go, and but like that little back patio area, there's a lot of people will hang out there and stuff, and that's a cool little place, man. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, they got
there,
a sweet ass setup.
Yeah, and so being able to kind of like hang out with those guys and talk and network, and I don't know, man, everyone's just super cool. We didn't meet a single asshole.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, like anyone
hard to say.
Yeah, anyone that's in the comic scene down there, like they're all like genuinely nice people and stuff. And like
nobody was a dick. Nobody was like, "Fuck you, I'm better than you." Like there was none of that.
Yeah, and it's all like constructive criticism, or it's like they're actually genuinely interested in what you're doing and where you're coming from and all that stuff.
Which that's how it should be. Like everyone fucking helping each other out, being nice, like being positive for everyone else. Because being a fucking negative dickhead is not going to help you. Because
I've dealt with like competitiveness in comedy before, and it's like no one wins, man.
Yeah, it just brings everybody fucking down.
And it makes the show shittier. Like when everyone else is actively rooting for your demise on stage.
Yeah, like, dude. Come on.
You know, and so I don't know. You know, it's just like the whole point is to put on a good show to make people laugh.
Exactly.
That's all it is. When you want the show to be better,
everybody does good, it makes it better for everyone. Like, what the fuck?
But I think next time we go, I think I'm going to sign up for the open mic at the Mothership, because they do it on Sundays and Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we should go down there like a Sunday, a Monday, Tuesday, maybe a Wednesday or something like that, and then I'll just hit them and then maybe sign up for Kill Tony and see what's up. But Kill Tony, that'd be nerve-wracking to do, man. That's buddy, that's a lot. That is a lot right there. Yeah. But it was cool, man. But like my favorite part, man, I think was Duncan Trussell.
Yeah.
And he's really funny, and he made a lot of like jokes. I'm not going to ruin them at all. If you want to hear them, go see them because they're good. I'm pretty sure a lot of those are going to be on his special that he's going to be putting out soon, that he actually filmed at the Mothership.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a point where he was talking about Alex Jones and conspiracy theories and stuff, and he kept really talking Alex Jones up. And now, obviously, Jones has had some controversial issues in his past. Okay, I'm not talking about those. I'm just saying, as a human being, I find him fascinating and entertaining. And for a moment, I thought Trussell was going to bring Jones out on stage. I was like, holy shit. I was like whispering to Moses. I was like, is this shit going to fucking happen right now, dude?
Because he's came out and done shit like that before. Yeah. So
he lives in Austin.
Crazy.
Like, so he hangs out with Rogan all the fucking time.
I mean, he's been on Kill Tony multiple fucking times too. So.
Those episodes are great.
I know, that shit's fun as fuck.
But yeah, you know, so I mean, but speaking of Alex Jones, dude, I mean, he's in the news yet again, man.
They got him this time.
They got him backed in a corner, dude. Yeah. So
we have some breaking news for you tonight, as the InfoWars host and known conspiracy theorist Alex Jones has just moved to liquidate his personal assets to pay the families of the victims of the Sandy Hook massacre. Alex Jones owes those families more than $1.5 billion in damages over his repeated lies and claims that the shooting was a hoax. Joining us now is senior media reporter Oliver Darcy. And Oliver, I mean, tell us what's happening here and what this means for Alex Jones.
Well, for one, the families are going to hopefully see some money. They haven't seen a dime since these judgments came down, meaning that Alex Jones owes them $1.5 billion for telling this really heinous lie about the Sandy Hook shooting back in 2012. It also means that he's no longer eventually going to own InfoWars, which is this conspiracy empire that he's used for years and years to peddle all sorts of lies and conspiracy theories. He's eventually going to lose control of that. It is a little bit confusing because his company's in bankruptcy court and he's personally in bankruptcy court, but because he owns the company. It's part of his personal assets. This does mean he will lose control of the company.
Well, and can we just play this? We were all watching this moment of him on InfoWars the other day where he was seeming to cry about this situation that he was in.
I believe in my parents. I believe in humanity. And I just want to fucking stop these people. They gotta be stopped. We gotta stop them.
Shit, dude.
So, at the end of the day, we're gonna beat these people.
Him talking about the future of this company.
I think he sees the writing on the wall there, Caitlin, and he was talking all weekend about how this was likely possible, that he was going to get shut down, and now he is agreeing tonight in court to liquidate his personal assets, which again...
Damn, that sucks, man.
Yeah. $1.5 billion.
So
how many fucking families?
It was several. It was multiple families.
I know, yeah.
I can't remember the exact number. There was like 2 specifically that got really fucked up over all this. But yeah, $1.5 billion, man. I was reading that it is actually has like the record in the United States for being the highest valued civil suit, like on an individual.
I'm not surprised.
You know, because there's been some with like corporations and stuff like that, but this is on an individual.
Yeah.
So, and he's not even remotely worth that, man.
No.
You know, so
how does that work? I mean, he's just gonna give up all he has and then
files for bankruptcy, and that's the end of it. They're just literally
so they just slapped an exorbitant fucking number on there.
Yeah, to banks to shut him up for good. Yeah.
What he needs, I mean,
he could start back.
That's what I was gonna say. InfoWars 2.0.
Yeah, you just call it something else, file another LLC, and be done with it. I mean, they can't stop him from speaking.
Yeah.
You know, so
wars of. I mean, they put a fucking gag order on him talking about Sandy Hook specifically, didn't they?
Yeah, I didn't agree with that, but they did do that while the court was going on and stuff like that. Like the judge was like,
fucking did that shit to Trump, so
yeah. So I don't agree with any of that shit. So. Because I'm a firm believer in free speech all around the board, even when it's speech that I don't like.
Yeah, because we all have the opportunity and the option to not fucking listen to it if we don't like it. So there's a goddamn idea no one knows about, apparently.
You know, and it's like you have to go out of your way to listen to Alex Jones now.
You really do.
He's banned on every platform. You have to go directly to his website. It's not like he's like really inconveniencing anyone. Like, you know,
he's not in your YouTube fine list or anything like.
Not like us popping up in your shorts.
Yeah.
Hey, fucker. You know. Like, but yeah, man, that's a lot of fucking money, man. And there's no way. I mean, he's gonna go bankrupt. But the thing about Jones is like he has like a lot of like wealthy friends.
Yeah,
that have
a lot of people like him. So.
You know, yeah. And I've always heard that like as a person, he's actually like a really good dude, like a really cool guy, like down to earth and shit like that. Like, but that a lot of it's just like a show, like a character that he plays or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what a lot of fucking people do.
It's hard to imagine, you know? But, you know, you see that shit in stand-up comedy, too, man. People will be like, a comedian will make a joke, and they'll be like, fuck that guy. And then he'd be like, oh, like
it's a
he
joke.
actually doesn't believe that.
Yeah.
Like, I have one about me being, like, pro-life. Pro-choice, sorry. And, like, you know, actually, like, actively going to get an abortion and stuff. That's never happened. I'm actually I'm pro-life in my personal life.
That's my story.
Yeah. Because I've always been like, I can't, like, I vote pro-choice. Like, okay, I can't decide for anyone else.
But you
in my
have your own personal
life,
fucking belief. Yeah.
I'm pro-life in my personal life. But I made a whole skit about it and it was fine or whatever. I mean, you even saw that when it was, you know, it's not too bad, but like, you know, people just think that like the character behind the screen is that's the real person.
Yeah,
it's not the real
some
person.
person would be like, "Oh, I fucking hate this guy's beliefs, so fuck him."
Yeah,
which that's what everyone does now.
And it's like if you just actually talk to like the individual, then it's like okay, it's different.
And then they like your example, for instance, if someone was like, "Fuck this guy," and then they heard your story, they'd be like, "Oh, cool, I think like him too." Like, all right, well, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah, yeah, bitch.
But like a lot of people don't realize that, man. Anything behind film, you just have to assume that's a character. And you know, like
look at our fucking mainstream media, man. That shit's all bullshit.
You know? But I don't know. When Jones was crying, though, do you think he was like crying? Like, why do you think he was crying? Do you think he was crying because he's about to be flat broke?
I mean, I'd be crying if I was going to be flat broke.
I think he's. What's he? Do you want to Google his net worth? His personal net worth and see what it is.
Although, I mean, I was trying to check and see if he was actually crying. I did see a tear, so I don't know. Do you think he was fake crying?
No, even if he wasn't remorseful for what he did, like I would be, if I was in his shoes and I wasn't remorseful for what I did, I would be crying about the fact that I'm about to be fucking homeless and flat broke.
I mean, I don't really know if he, I don't know if he should feel remorseful. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, that's like a sticky situation because whenever the shit happened and it went down, it was anytime something happens in America, conspiracy theories pop up. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not just Alex Jones. It's Reddit. It's
he just
Facebook.
has a big or he has a lot of people that listen to what he says.
And, and there's always, like, some circumstantial, like, weird shit that happens, like, why didn't the police go into the fucking school in Uvalde, Texas? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on there? And it's just, like, people ask questions, or look at the 9/11 shit. Like, were there explosions before the planes hit? I don't know. I saw videos of that.
Yeah.
Maybe there was, But, or jet fuel doesn't, heat up enough to melt steel beams. But
can't find his damn net worth, man. They all just talk about his fucking penalty.
He probably had a team scrub it off the
ridiculous.
Internet. But,
can't find shit on the internet nowadays.
I think one time, I saw in the court case that he said he was only worth like $2 or $3 million personally.
I can see that, and then I'm sure his company has a good bit more than that. But dude, not 1.5 billion.
So the thing is like, he had this conspiracy theory show, or has it still, and he came out, and so I just believe it falls under free speech, right?
Yeah.
But you can't deny. All right, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, it's a show. It is entertainment. You take it with a grain of salt. The people who did things legitimately, they committed crimes. So, like, if someone listened to a show, believed all this crazy shit, and then they went and they were physically harassing these families at their houses.
Because there were people that did that.
Yes.
They went to the grave sites and shit, and they went to where it was happening and was like, this is fake.
Those people should be punished because they broke a fucking law.
Yeah.
So, I think they're just going after the wrong person here,
I mean, it's not the same, but, I mean, fucking January 6th comes to mind.
Yeah.
Like, there are certain people who broke the law, but then there's people that had nothing to fucking do with it, and they got prosecuted extremely.
Yeah. But I will say this, man, like the families, because I watched like his court case and stuff. Like I felt bad for him, man. I really did, because it's like, there's no doubt these kids died. Like, they're killed, right? Like, I mean, like obviously, but fucking, like one father, I think he said he had to move 3 times. Like, within a couple of years. And he was just like, dude, my kid fucking died. Like, people were like...
And then he's getting harassed for that
non-stop.
Shit. Yeah, that's wrong. Like,
he was like, people were trying to dig up my kid's grave. Like, they were stealing his tombstone. Like, they were just shit like that.
Super fucked up.
And, like, I don't know. He handled that a lot better than I would, because I would have shot someone in the fucking face. Like, over that. You know what I mean? I think any jury in America would fucking let you off the hook for that shit.
Plus, that's a fucking felony in the first place.
Yeah.
Desecration of a grave.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those, like,
once
super
again,
messed up things.
They committed the fucking crime,
Yeah, Alex wasn't out there with a shovel.
But could you argue that those families could have some sort of civil suit beef with Alex? Because what Alex got... fined for it, that wasn't criminal, that was civil, right?
Yeah.
So I could say yes, but I feel like $1.5 billion is excessive as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's setting a precedent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Can we just not do anything?
And it's not like Alex literally just focused straight on Sandy Hook. Like, that man has a conspiracy about everything under the sun.
And the fucked up thing is, he's been right more times than he's been wrong.
Yeah.
And I just think he got Sandy Hook wrong.
Yeah.
And who knows those judges, who knows who fucking appointed them, who got them in those, because Jones has scrutinized the fucking government
forever,
and he has like called them out, and he has shown proof of them doing dirty shit, and they have tried to shut him up for years, and I think they just found a way to twist the knife, dude. And who knows who went to go visit those families and be like, we'll help you out with free legal representation. Like, who's paying those bills? Like, who's doing all that shit, But fuck it, who knows, man? There's a
lot of that shit going around nowadays too, man.
Yeah, man. So, I don't know, man. I mean, did Jones fuck up? Sure.
He did.
Can't deny it.
He did. But is the crime worth the time in this situation?
Does the punishment fit the crime?
Yeah.
Because, like, in my mind, that's equivalent to, like, shooting someone in the face because they were jaywalking.
Even
you know what I mean?
Like, $1.5 billion, like, there's never even been a goddamn mass murderer that got anything relatable to that punishment, dude. Like, financial to, like, even if you do put a value on a human life, which you can, as far as like, this man killed this many people, he gets this many years in prison, or the death sentence.
That, or like the insurance companies do it all the time.
Yeah. 1.5, like, that's a lot of That's more
It's
than
a lot of scratch, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. It's a sticky situation because I like to argue the free speech aspect. You know what I mean? But then also, I'm not a fucking monster, and I understand these families went through like horrible fucking tragedies and also horrible shit that came. And then was Jones like a big proprietor of that? Yes, but he wasn't the only one saying this shit.
No, I mean, they
were
had
everywhere.
Full-on documentaries.
They made documentaries about it, dude.
Multiple documentaries
Yes.
saying that shit was fake, and Alex had nothing to, I mean, he didn't make that
I
shit.
watched one, and it was so believable.
Dude, I watched one too. Yeah,
and it was
probably,
like,
it
oh
could have
my
been the
God.
same one, but dude, it was very convincing.
You know, I was like, holy shit. And that's kind of what pissed me off. I was like, why did you just pick this one guy to go after? This
'Cause it's Alex
one
Jones.
guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're trying to send a fucking message and just scare people, man. You know, and who knows? I like to think it's some degree has like a deal of retaliation because he scrutinized the government and presidents in the past and stuff like that. And I think, you know,
They
historically,
finally found something that they could nail his ass to the wall for.
and historically, he's been right more than he's been wrong, dude. And he's just caught the government doing some dirty shit. And he's named people by name, like, you know.
Yeah, because he's gotten hold of information that is true.
He has a whole whistleblower program on his website where you can like email him and it's all encrypted apparently. It's all safe and stuff like that, man. So, but I don't know. So
okay, if you were in his position, what would you do? Would you just lay down and never do anything again, or would you start InfoWars 2.0?
I would fucking sell everything. I'd liquidate everything as fast as humanly possible, give them all the fucking money, be bankrupt, not have a fucking dollar to my name, and then I would fucking go and I would talk to all my fucking buddies. I'd get more fucking starter cash, and I would start InfoWars 2.0 LLC.
Yep.
And I would just be like, got a new studio, basically in the same goddamn place. Probably buy that studio.
yeah.
You know, like, and just do that.
You're like, hey, don't be taking none of this shit off the walls. I'll be here in a couple weeks.
But you know, if he did that, do you realize like he would be able to come back with a vengeance, and he would have more followers and more people buying his product and shit. I mean, look at what's happening to Trump right now.
Yeah.
You know, like the more they fuck with him, which it is clear as day, man, they are fucking. Is he guilty of? Sure, man.
Of course.
Like,
but is he guilty of doing the same shit that everyone else does? Yes.
You know, but it's like you can tell, like they are fucking using the justice system to stop him from running for president because they are fucking scared. And that dude's followership keeps growing like every day. It's insane, dude. Like you look at some of these polls that are starting to pop up.
From the time he got convicted, within 24 hours, he'd raised like
$52 million.
$52 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, dude.
That should tell you something.
Yeah. You know, and I think the more they fuck with that dude, the worse it's just gonna get. And who knows what the fuck is gonna happen, man. Like, I could see him just getting elected, pardon himself on the federal stuff, you know, never go back to Georgia. You know,
never go back to fucking New York either.
Yeah, just stay out of those two states.
He needs to just fucking rotate between Florida and Texas. Just be like, I'm gonna run the country from Florida and Texas.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's just because like the average American citizen knows that they're being fucked with. Like, whether it's like someone like Alex Jones or Donald Trump, like, you know, people, like, for whatever reason you want to choose, people like these guys, and they feel like they represent something, a part of themselves. So when the establishment attacks these individuals, the citizen feels they are being attacked.
Yeah.
And if it's clear as day these people are just being fucked with, and then you include all the other shit that normal citizens got to deal with, man, like the fucking healthcare, the inflation, like all this shit, the job markets, you name, dude. You can only fucking cook under so much pressure for that fucking lid pops.
Exactly.
Man. And that shit is not going to be good. And we are always advocates against violence. We don't fucking condone any of it. We're not saying to do any shit. None of that stupid shit. But what I'm saying, dude, is let that motherfucker become a duly elected fucking president, right? And let him be sitting in prison. And I think it's going to make January 6th look like a fucking trip to Disney World. And then everybody's going to be, all the fucking Democrats are going to be like, oh my God, how could this happen? It's like, because you kept fucking around and fucking around and fucking around.
But at that point...
And then it fucking just came to a head, dude.
They're going to weaponize our military and our police force and turn them against their own people.
Maybe.
And then at that point, it's going to become a chance.
Who do you think voted for that fucking dude? I mean, because the conservatives, like, it's like known that like a majority of police force and like fucking military are all conservatives.
True.
If I was in the military, which so they can't do the active duty guys. There's actually federal laws that prevent that, but they can do the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was in the military and they were like, hey, like, you have to go stop these guys because they're trying to bust out the president of the United States from the jail, I would be like, I consider that to be an unlawful order.
Exactly,
Go
because
fuck
in the
yourself.
military you have the right to disobey an unlawful order.
And I consider that. I'd be like, that's the president of the United States.
That's literally going against our fucking constitutional rights.
It's a constitutional crisis, man, because there's nothing in the Constitution that stops it. It wasn't planned for it. And which makes me think Trump might be playing 4D chess here. But like because in the Constitution, you can't run for president if you've been convicted of treason. And to convict someone of treason is like one of the hardest things to do, actually. Which is why the fucking the U.S. attorney, like, they came down and they were trying to get him on conspiracy and stuff, like, because that was easier to prove. But he could even though he'd be a convicted felon, but these 34 charges we're going to talk about were for fraud, which is completely different.
Bullshit, first of all.
And so anyway, you can run as a president as a convicted felon.
But you can't vote.
You can't vote, you can't own firearms, you know what I mean? You can't leave the fucking country, you know? But you can run for president.
He's going to be the president, but he can't leave the United States.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, Xi Jinping, you're going to have to come to me. Like, I can't go out. Like, Putin, you're going to have to come over here, man.
You can just start seeing how it's all, like, falling apart and shit. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? And so, like,
I just have to talk to him on Zoom.
So, yeah, like, it's a constitutional crisis right now. Because it's like, what if this dude actually gets elected? Then there's...
But, I mean...
Like,
the powers that be are doing everything to stop that from fucking happening.
And the average American citizen sees that shit. And they're like, well, hold on. Why can't you just have an election without all this shit? Okay, fine, fuck it. Maybe he did some shit when he was like a civilian before he was fucking president and stuff like that. You can't push that down the road for a fucking year and just see how this election goes? Why the fuck are you so hard up to do it now, right now? This is pretty convenient timing, right? So I don't know. Considering now that he's only going to be able to make it to what one debate? Because then he's going to be sentenced 4 days before the second debate.
Yep.
That's fucking convenient timing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just like...
And you know the first debate, I'm sure, is going to be led by a Democratic asshole. Yeah. And it's just going to nail him, like, fuck him up anyways.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I actually... I mean, you know me, I've said it a million times on this show. RFK Jr. is my boy. Trump is going to be a backup, you know? But, dude, I don't see a scenario where Trump doesn't win. As long as it's a legitimate and fair election. I'm not saying the last election was rigged,
that's
but...
the thing.
As long as
it's a legitimate election, which the jury's out on that for me, man.
But the last thing them motherfuckers want to do is lock his ass in a jail cell, dude. Because that's not going to end well at all, dude. Like, at fucking all, man. And, I mean, that's where you start getting into the point where, like, states can turn against the federal government and be like, fuck you, like, we're completely, like, independent from you now. Like, I mean, it just...
Hell, that's what Abbott did on the fucking border situation.
Yeah.
So at least, like, it's starting to fucking happen anyways. But if the Trump situation happens, then that's really going to push a lot of people over the edge.
Yeah. And then let's just say for
like,
whatever...
Not even violence. Just like in general, like their fucking mindset is going to completely change and they're going to have even less faith in the fucking system than they already do now.
And that's like a fucking scary place to be, dude. You know, because it's like...
Yeah, if you have a large majority of your citizens that either just distrust or flat out hate their own government, man, like, that's not good for the country.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. Fuck.
But we got a little video on the Trump situation. We might as well play that real quick.
We need to watch the video about how he's got more charges than a maxed out credit card.
With Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts in his latest criminal prosecution, the now convicted felon is deploying one last tactic to try and save himself. A not so thinly veiled threat that violence will ensue if he's sentenced to prison or house arrest.
I'm okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything, you just, the way it is. So, that could happen. I don't know that the public would stand it, you know. I'm not sure the public would stand for it. With a...
you tried house arrest or...
I think it would be tough for the public to take. You know, at a certain point, there's a breaking point.
And of course, this is Trump's and the modern Republican Party's MO. Violence isn't a bug, it's a feature. They deployed it on January 6th, and since then, Trump has threatened to deploy it again and again. Also in moments where it could serve his own breathless pursuit of power. But there's a problem that undermines Trump's entire strategy. The threats seem to be largely empty. Here's what I mean. Last year, when Trump was set to be indicted in this very case in New York, Trump posted on Truth Social that he, quote, will be arrested on Tuesday of next week, protest, take our nation back. He then followed that post with yet another post that's even less ambiguous. We can't just allow this anymore. They're killing our nation as we sit back and watch. We must save America. Protest, protest, protest.
Okay, he's saying protest. Not fucking violence.
Yeah. Dude, I fucking hate how these liberal cocksuckers, man.
Dude, yeah, fucking thank you,
faggots,
MSNBC,
man.
you piece of shit.
Yeah, dude, like, just the biggest cocksuckers,
dude, like, he literally, he says one thing, and they're like, oh, did you fucking hear what he said?
Yeah.
And it's not even what the fuck he said.
Yeah, dude, it's just like, they just look for every fucking excuse to insert violence. They stoke that shit more than anything else.
They're the goddamn pushers on that shit,
you
man.
know? And it's like, fuck me, man. But guilty on all 34, like... Did you read in the details of how they got him on that shit?
Yeah, because he had 34 checks.
It was individual checks.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, and each conviction carries a maximum sentence of 4 years. That dude could get 136 years in fucking prison if they had him run it separately. Now they can do it concurrent, like where he just says 4 for all of them, but
even then, that shit is a fucking misdemeanor. Like for what he did.
I mean, it's fucking banking shit, man. That always goes down under federal.
But he didn't. It's hush money. He paid.
I hate it.
He paid a fucking porn star.
Wouldn't it have just been easy if he would have just came out in the beginning and was like, yeah, I did it?
Probably. He should have.
I wish he would have. He should just do it now. Be like, yeah, I did it. But they're trying to get him and all his fucking cronies. I mean, they just got Steve Bannon's ass. You know, which I got mixed feelings about that guy, but he was Donald Trump's the White House chief strategist for only 7 months, but he was a very effective human being at doing some stuff for him, man. But he dabbled in the dark arts quite a bit, man. So,
but again, man, if you're gonna start fucking picking and choosing, that's bullshit. Like,
well, they got Steve Bannon going to prison July 1st.
Needs to be a level playing field. Like, you're telling me that like these people that are just now getting fucking charged are the only people who's ever been guilty of crimes. Like, fuck out of here, man. Yeah.
Well, they got Bannon on contempt of Congress, which was kind of gangster. So Congress was trying to do like an investigation, right? So when they do that, they send an official subpoena, right? They're like, hey, like basically you're gonna come to this fucking meeting and this hearing, and then you're gonna answer our goddamn questions. You know, you're not necessarily under a criminal trial, but like. We just need
You're not under arrest. We just have some questions.
But if you don't show up, you will be under arrest. So he literally got that subpoena and was like, fuck y'all, I'm not talking to y'all. And he refused to talk about like Trump and all that shit. He's just basically like, fuck off. And they're like, if you don't come and do this, like, you're going to be charged with contempt of Congress. And he was just like, fuck it, charge me. And they charged him, found him guilty. and this is all from like 2022.
Wouldn't it have been better to just show up and not talk?
I mean, just take the fifth. Like, the fifth. Like that Dave Chappelle skit. Fifth out. Fifth. Can I get up? Fifth.
You know? I think that would have been
1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth. That would have been good. Just turn into a whole fucking cartoon while you're up there.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Imagine how pissed they would have been.
But he's only getting 4 months, but still, you know. But it is kind of baller to like. Tell fucking he stood up to him. Suck your dick, you know. But I don't know, man. So they got Trump on all 34, man. I was like, fuck, dude. And when do you see cases when there's like multiple charges where it's like 100% conviction?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always like where there's like, oh, one maybe not, another one maybe not, or maybe we might need to lower this to a lesser charge,
or they'll like group them together at the end, or like you'll be like, okay, instead of this, you'll get this for these, like.
Yeah, but that's literally that is weaponizing the justice system. That is pandering. That is they're just pushing an agenda, and I just think it's dangerous, man.
It's a fucking perversion of justice, man.
And what's the fucked up part is, man, is the courts were always supposed to be fucking separate, like the judicial branch. Like it was always supposed to be known that, like, hey, no matter what, whatever people agree or disagree on, whatever happens, if you step foot in a court, it's going to be non-biased and it's going to be fair every time. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not what they're doing.
The case here.
Yeah. You know, and then like that's just a dangerous fucking road to go down, because then like, what happens? Like, I don't know, like ideologies start coming up, like. What if there becomes like a big racial issue more than there is in America, and then it becomes like, oh, we're convicting too many of one demographic. We need to focus more on another demographic. No. Focus on the fucking facts.
Focus on the crime.
Yeah, you know, like.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't feel good about the way the justice system is going with this shit.
No,
I don't think it's going to end well.
No,
I don't. You know, and I think more than likely Donald Trump is going to win.
But what pisses me off is people's stupidity. Like people are like. The people that hate Donald Trump are like, oh yeah, fuck that dude, he got convicted, all this shit. Like, they don't realize that one day the tables will turn. Like, it's like something.
Yes.
Eventually, they're not gonna always agree with exactly what the fuck is going on. Just because your agenda is fucking, you agree with it now, it's gonna change, and eventually you're gonna regret feeling or fucking supporting all this bullshit, man.
Yeah. You want to know something that I thought about the other day? If Biden really was truly like a patriot, okay, he would pardon Donald Trump on all his federal charges.
Dude, because remember Donald Trump, he had the option to nail Hillary to the wall, and he had the option to nail.
Not to.
Yeah, he was like, "This is not how we run stuff."
Yes.
And then these stupid motherfuckers have the balls to be like
back on him.
No, but I mean, they have the balls to be like, if Trump gets in, he's gonna nail everybody else. Like, he was already president. He didn't fucking do that.
Yeah, he didn't. Not at all.
He probably. I mean, at this point, he should have, because fuck him.
I bet he's fucking wishing he did. You know, like fuck. Shit.
But yeah, man.
I was reading some shit too the other day. Like, Secret Service was like already saying that they already have plans in order to like provide him Secret Service detail in prison.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're already making plans for that shit.
Yeah, it'd be like, I need about 3 or 4 cameras in here. I need 3 or 4 fucking guards. Nobody leave me alone at all.
Yeah, no shit, man. I'd be like, leave one of them dudes in there bunking with me. You take 8-hour shifts.
Yeah, and I need to know these guys. I don't want no random dude in my bunk either.
I bet it's people he fucking
They need to live stream that shit so that people can see.
Just jumping there like smoking, talking on a Nokia brick phone.
Can I get some bitches in here?
He's got like an Aryan Brotherhood tattoo on the side of his neck or some shit. You know?
Wearing a fucking bandana and stuff.
I really think he's gonna be running the fucking joint from the can, dude. I really think so. I think it's gonna happen. But I don't know.
Do you know how much support he's gonna get if that happens?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
like,
everybody.
Dude, July 11th is right around the corner. That's next month, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, they can try to appeal and all that stuff, but like, dog, I mean, at this fucking point, I don't know. Unless maybe they could work out a deal with sentencing, because normally with sentencing, it's just like, okay, like, here's your sentencing, boom, and they immediately throw you in handcuffs and they process you. You know? Now I've heard of like times where deals have been cut and stuff like this, like, hey, can we delay the sentencing or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm sure they're trying that.
Who fucking knows, man? But it's just an unsettling time, dude. Like, and all people want is just an honest and fair election. That's all people fucking want, man.
Yes.
Any true American, that's what they want. And then, like, honestly, they need to quit fucking with RFK Jr. and they need to let that motherfucker on all 50 ballots, dude. And it needs to be the 3 of them up there debating together.
That's unconstitutional to not let that guy run. That's bullshit. To not have a person that the people like, even if they don't fucking like him, he should still get a chance.
Yes, dude.
That's
and, like,
bullshit.
at a minimum, like, I hope he claims he's going to be on the fucking debate stage.
Yeah,
because the debate is June 27th, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Damn, that is not far away
Personally,
at all, man.
I will be surprised if they allow him to debate.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'll be surprised if they do. I want him to. I think that'll be perfect. That will give America
another option.
Full fucking spectrum. It's like you can have like alpha, like in your face Donald Trump. You can have like fucking Joe Manchin Biden who can't even fucking walk to save his life, right? Or you could have someone maybe, a little left, a little right, but is obviously very educated, highly intelligent, and is actually passionate about this shit.
So surely if all 3 of those men are on the ballot, Biden will lose.
He has
because the people no one likes that motherfucker.
I haven't met a single person. Even when we were in Austin, nobody
no, dude.
Oh, that's a good. We should bring that up, man. Some of the comedians, man, when they would make fun of like Biden, everyone, and it's comedy clubs, man. It's notorious.
And this is Austin, liberal as shit.
Yeah, dude. And everyone was just like woo and shit. And anytime they tried,
fuck Joe Biden.
Anytime they mentioned fucking Donald Trump,
it didn't go
dead
well.
Silence.
Yeah.
Like, and you and I looked at each other. I was like, "Whoa, holy shit!" I had never seen that before at all, man. So, because when I did a stand up last month, not this last show, but the one before that, I had a joke where I kind of made fun of Donald Trump, but the punchline at the end was I voted for him. But even then, like, as soon as I mentioned his name, you could hear a pin drop in that place, dude. I was like, and it just crashed the last half of my set, dude. Like, I was like, all right, pivot.
Should have ended it with "fuck Joe."
Woo! But yeah, man. So I think, and those polls, man, they push are bullshit because you start looking into
them.
They
are bullshit.
They'll be like, oh, how many people did you poll? They'll be like, oh, 2,000. What?
And they were all from like a fucking Democratic college or some shit.
Downtown Chicago or some shit, dude. And it's like, what? Like, hold on, man. There are almost 400 million people that live in this country that we know about.
Yeah, that's fucking good, sure. Yeah.
So I don't fucking know, man. And then like you look at it too, like Trump's popularity was already big with the like Hispanic voters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's grown more because people are starting to see it. They're like, fuck this shit. And then he's getting so much credibility with the black community now. Like, it's kind of fucking cool. Like, he's gotten all these like rappers and shit coming up to his rallies.
Dude, they're all
we covered it on
shit.
Yeah, I think we covered it on the last episode, the episode before.
Mm-hmm.
But he's getting so much like credibility, and like a couple of rappers I was watching, they were like getting asked like, hey, why is this happening? Like, why is the black community all of a sudden like turning against the Democratic Party and like going towards not necessarily the Republican, but more just towards Trump? And they were like, because he's getting fucked by the system the same way we have.
Mm-hmm.
And that motherfucker might actually stand a chance of shoving it up their ass. And I was like, that's kind of fucking dope.
Yeah.
You know? If you think about it like this, man, you want to know something crazy? You know, iconically, like, whenever it comes down to, like, a presidential election, the candidates or whatever, like, news crews will be out, and they'll film them going to the voting booth, right? And they always, like, oh, I voted, like, who'd you vote for? It's like, haha, who'd you think?
Yeah.
Like, myself, obviously. Trump can't even go and vote for himself.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the more you think about it, the more it just is fucked up, dude. It's just completely fucked up. The president, a former president of the United States cannot vote in this country. Get fucked.
That's why we need him to win, man.
Can't own a gun, but can be in charge of a nuclear arsenal. This doesn't make any fucking sense.
I can't own a Glock, but I can push that fucking button.
Oh my god, dude, it's a total mindfuck, isn't it? Like, really, I mean, like, I lay in bed and I think about it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. But I kind of wish I just had a fast forward button, because, like, this month is going to kind of be like, meh. But these get to the debates, and then 2 weeks later, he's getting sentenced, and then that's, I think, when the snowball starts fucking rolling down the hill, man. So we shall see. We shall see. I don't know, man. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I know it was an eventful little rant of an episode or whatever, but,
Things seem bad.
But, as always, we're optimistic, and we're all about being positive, guys.
That's right.
Hang in there.